Good evening and welcome to our next episode of Cooking with Michael.
And Candace.
And Candace, we're back. Thank you all who watched our
Pittsburgh episode.
Pittsburgh episode, yes, exactly. It was a great episode. It was a great trip, actually. And congratulations, Robert and Clara. We love you guys to death. It was a great time. So
it was a great wedding.
Great wedding. Fantastic. But we're back. Time to cook some food. So, first and foremost, we're going to thank Andrew, Chapel Beer and Wine. So if you're in the Germantown area, stop over at Fox Chapel Shopping Center, Chapel Beer and Wine. See Andrew, tell him Mr. Mike or
Miss Candace
sent you. He'll take good care of you. So, great selection of beer and wine. Thanks so much, Andrew. And
he got it right this time.
I got it right this time, so we'll go from there. But tonight, we're going to make a great dish, as always. Except there's this giant white thing in front of me.
It's called cauliflower.
Okay, before we get to that, you'll notice we're wearing a little different aprons, and I'm wearing a clock that's hot, trying to show off the new merchandise that we have on cookingmichael.us.
No, he couldn't find it.
Yeah, okay, so I couldn't find a regular apron, but we do have stuff on there, so please check out our website, cookingmichael.us. But let's go back to this white mound of shit you have here. What is this?
I'm going to have to mute you if you're going to keep talking about food that way.
Facts. Sorry.
All right, so this is a head of cauliflower. Most of us, know our cauliflower from the frozen foods aisle. Dump it out of the plastic bag, and it's already all chopped up for you.
Wait, is this a Candace episode?
Yes, it is.
Is it a veggie episode?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we go to Pittsburgh once, and I come back and it's a fucking veggie episode?
Yep.
Alright, I'm taking my wine, go on this side, you're on this side.
Alright.
So tell us what we're doing with this mound of white stuff.
Well, first we're going to give you a healthy dose of shut the fuck up, Michael.
It's a big healthy dose. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a truckload back it up.
Oh, yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. What we're doing tonight is roasted cauliflower, okay? What I'm going to do is just slice it up into steaks because I am too lazy to chop them up into cubes, but if you want to do that, you certainly can. Cauliflower tastes completely different when you roast it versus when you steam it on the stove or microwave it. So if you think you don't like cauliflower, try it roasted. If you think you don't like vegetables, try roasted cauliflower. If you want to expand the vegetables that you eat or the way that you eat them, the way that they're prepared, try roasted cauliflower. Okay? All
joking aside, it actually we do make this on a regular basis, and I actually
he will eat it.
I do like it. It's not my favorite, but I do like. Actually, it's pretty good. I'm surprised. So
shut the fuck up and let me fix it.
All right. So she's gonna make roasted cauliflower. I'm gonna drink Pinot Grigio. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were saying.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So first thing you need to do is, besides wash it, start your oven for 425 degrees.
Done.
Yes, that's one thing he's actually done useful today.
That's pretty much the only thing I've done useful today.
Okay. So the way you're going to prepare your cauliflower is to peel off the green stuff on the back. So you break off the green parts, and unless you do anything with soup or anything, stock, vegetable stock, you compost it. You do not throw it in the trash.
Oh no, why are we doing not only is it a veggie episode, but it's a compost episode?
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, moving on. Sorry.
Okay,
compost.
Alright, Vanna, make yourself useful and put the green parts in the compost. It puts the green parts in the compost.
It puts the green parts in the compost.
We're going to dismantle this by slicing it. And don't worry if you didn't get all of the green stuff off the bottom. Did you say
dismantle it?
Yes. And don't worry if you didn't get all of the green stuff off on the bottom. We can slice that off once we get it sectioned.
Pinot Grigio. Drinking wine while she makes veggies.
Oh man, mine are not going to stay in steaks this time. Okay, change of plans. We're not leaving them in steaks. This. Doesn't it look like a brain? Isn't it beautiful? I love this.
Said it clearly to die. Anyway.
So So here's my 2 pieces that stayed together like I wanted them to.
Santa Clarita diet.
So that I could be lazy and not have to then chop everything up into little bits and pieces.
Chop a cauliflower.
This is what they've turned into. You want them to be fairly uniform so that they cook at the same amount of time. So I'm going to chop the rest of this stuff up into matching size pieces.
You all watching?
Careful, he may flop on the floor and die now. Alright, so I've chopped them all up. They're relatively the same size, but there are some itty bitty little ones in here. So some of them will be a little more roasted than others, but I think it's gonna end up okay. Now we're ready for our olive oil.
So what we're doing, just pouring, how much olive oil do we use? Just
I don't know, 3 tablespoons maybe?
She's not measuring, she's definitely my wife.
So, stir your cauliflower and the olive oil to distribute it as evenly as possible.
So basically, we ultimately want all of the cauliflower to be basically coated with olive oil.
Yes, because that'll help your spices to stick. That
But
way,
not too olive oily.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to use it to make the spices stick, but you don't really want to soak it. And you also want to have a nice little coating of olive oil so that it keeps it from burning as quickly. Now we're going to do salt to taste. I like to give it a little stir halfway through when I'm doing a large amount, just to make sure it gets distributed evenly. You don't have some super salty bites and then some saltless, almost flavorless bites. More white people seasoning with black pepper.
Just out of curiosity, why the pepper grinder versus the already
Better flavor.
Already
Because
ground
it's
up?
fresher.
Because it's fresh, exactly.
And
So-
I'm just stirring everything all over the table. A little onion powder and a little garlic powder. Again, this is to taste. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of onion. Depends on how much you like your garlic and your onion. It's all up to you. And a little garlic.
Time for a trip to Aldi for all garlic, isn't it?
It is. Our garlic is almost out. Okay, so just
Aldi!
teensy bit of garlic. I like to do a little Italian seasoning on mine. If you particularly don't like Italian seasonings, then you can go with anything else. You can even do half sesame oil and sesame seeds if you'd like. That's yummy as well. Crushed red pepper to taste. Gives you a little bit of heat, but it also brings out all of your other flavors. It's kind of like salt does. It kind of functions the same way salt does in bringing out the flavors of all of your other foods. All right, now we're ready to dump our cauliflower into our pans, because remember our ovens are already preheated.
425.
And you can see we don't have a bunch of oil. It's definitely oily, but there's no puddles. So that means our food shouldn't be too terribly soaked in it. Now, Vanna, I would like for you to do the tall person thing, please.
Sing with me.
Tall people.
All right, so as you can see, basically you want to do is you just want to make it even in the dish, and then stick it in the oven.
Let's go put it in the oven.
How long are we putting it in the oven for?
15 to 22 minutes. I know, that's a really huge range.
15 to 22 minutes, not 15 to 20. 15 to 22
Yeah,
minutes.
I know. Well, you know, sometimes it cooks a little faster than others. It is produce. And sometimes you want it a little more roasted than others. So you just keep watching it.
425 is different in every oven.
Yeah, some ovens can be off by as much as 50 degrees up or down.
Correct.
So,
exactly.
Watching your food is far more important than paying attention to the time the recipe tells you to cook it for.
But
you set your timer at the earliest checkpoint time.
We're going to let that cook for about 15 to 22 minutes, and then we'll be right back when it's done, and we'll show you what it looks like. We'll taste it, we'll love it, and we'll show you how great of a date night dinner it is. So we'll be right back.
And our alarm has gone off for a 3rd time.
This is what happens. This is the great thing of cooking, because you just never know exactly how long it's going to take.
Well, you know what? And it's better to check it many, many times than to burn it once. Because you burn it once, you've lost your food. You check it a whole bunch of times, you've still got food.
Exactly. So let's pull it out.
Let's go check. Tall person. Would you like to do the tall person thing? Oh, it's tall people, tall people, tall people.
Look, it's hot. So this is what it looks like, actually. You can see it's nice and
roasted.
Roasted all the way through.
A little bit browned.
Which is perfect. Which is exactly what you want to look like. Put it down. Fuck! Okay.
Cluck.
That's hot.
Alright, so let's load up our plate.
You can use something different than just forks, but you probably could,
We're low class, lazy, and cheap, so this is what we use.
Alright, so we got some on here. And you know what? Again, I've had this fork. as much as vegetables can be phenomenal. But we'll go ahead and try it.
Vegetables are very phenomenal because they're very good for your body. Very different from a steamed cauliflower.
It is actually, and you know what? And steamed vegetables are very good. Don't get me wrong, but
for people who don't like steamed cauliflower, the way cauliflower is typically served, this is almost like a totally different vegetable. So you may like it this way.
Anyway, the whole thing takes about 5 minutes to prep. Anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes in the oven.
Ours was about 18 minutes.
So it really depends on how long you're cooking it for, how long your oven in, and how much you have in there. So keep an eye on it. But anyway.
And the sizes of the little pieces.
And we realize this is not an actual entree. It's a great side dish to go along with whatever you're making. So it doesn't matter what you're making, steak, fish, whatever. This is a great side dish and a fantastic date night episode dinner. So
it's a good conversation starter because you can say, hey, we're having cauliflower. Ew, cauliflower. No, seriously, it's different. And then when they taste it, oh yeah, well if you roast it, and with many vegetables, you have the same thing. They taste very, very different once they're roasted.
And if they're happy, you get, oh, sorry, cut that out.
Or you could get edited out.
That can happen too. But anyway, so try it, see what you think. Love it, as we do. As always, thank you for watching. Share with everyone you know, share with everyone you don't know, share with everyone you love.
Share with people you hate.
Share with people you hate, and let us know what you think. So we'll see you next Saturday. Thank you all for watching. Saturday night, 8 p.m. on Cooking with Michael.
And Candace.
And Candace. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Cat time.
Meow! Meow! I just enjoy doing this just to get her, see how mad I can make her. Because I realized
she can only get so mad.
Every husband in the world knows that sentence.
Except for the ones who've been murdered by their wives.
Deadly Women, Season 2, episodes, all of them. Just for comments, the extra virgin olive oil is the really, really, really ugly olives. The ones who couldn't get laid even from ugly people.
Or they could be incels.